What if I told you that the journey from brewing beer to backing billion-dollar ideas isn't as far-fetched as it sounds? Because that's exactly what happened to me. I ran a brewery and we sold it. Now I'm launching a venture capital firm. It all started with one tough decision and a family business ready for transformation. It was an unexpected move to sell the brewery and double down on Forestry and then launch a venture capital firm from scratch. But that's exactly what happened. My name is Johannes and I was the CEO of a 5th generation brewery. Today, I back deep tech startups building the future. This is the story of how my family business transformed and how I did too. If you're interested in my other videos, there's a members only playlist on my channel, which I had to do for personal reasons. But this is a rare video where I give you some behind the scenes thoughts and stories. To stay up to date with how it's going with the VC, sign up to my newsletter via the link in the description. But back to the story. For 5 years now, I was the CEO of our family business. One company we had was a brewery. It was our pride. It had history, legacy, and it was a symbol of identification, both for the little town here, but also for the broader region. But let's be honest, the market was changing. It had been changing for a while. Running a brewery is very hard. The margins are thin, competition is fierce, and you're fighting in an industry that is ever decreasing. At some point, we had to ask ourselves, is this still where we want to invest our energy, our time, our future? So we made the call. We sold the brewery. It was one of the hardest decisions we've ever made, but it was also the most liberating. Being proud of something doesn't mean you should cling to it forever. Running a brewery in a competitive market is tough. Consolidation, cost pressure, changing consumer preferences, people are drinking less alcohol. There are so many levers to so many things to get this right. We tried everything, new product lines, marketing campaigns, restructuring, and we kept it going for longer than many thought possible, or maybe we should have, but we hit a crossroads. Do we keep investing energy into something that's barely growing? Or do we use this moment to step back and rethink everything? There is also an opportunity cost of time, my time. And this is a complex business with many moving parts. You can't put an external CEO in charge. We tried that in the past and it didn't work. Passion, craftsmanship, and entrepreneurial responsibility need to be in the same hands for this to work. You need to be hands-on, roll up your sleeves. So eventually, after over 130 years in the family, we sold it. And that decision hurt. For a long time, I asked myself, is there anything I could have done differently? What if I had become a brewmaster at age 16 before studying business? What if I would have joined the family business much earlier, before it all got into big trouble during the pandemic? I was asking myself all of these what ifs. It's been over a year since we sold it now, and I'm still thinking about it. I mean, I'm talking about it now, but now I can say that it was incredibly liberating for me and my family. One major factor is that we know that it's in good hands now. We know the new owner, he kept all the jobs, and we have a good relationship. For me, this also opened a door. After the brewery, I went back to our roots, quite literally. Forestry had always been part of the family business, but now it became the core. At last, I had enough time on my hands to familiarize myself with this. Sustainable forestry in the beautiful Bavaria, built for the long term. Without the pressure of other businesses, I could really dive into forestry and agriculture. And what surprised me was how much I loved it. Forestry teaches you patience. You plant today and you know very well that it might take you 80 years to harvest. Some trees I plant today, I won't even see cut down. You really think in generations, not in quarters. And here too, I professionalized the operations, I put in proper governance, I hired a great team, and slowly the noise faded. From being the talk of the town, the dust slowly settled and we were able to get some actual work done. I wasn't chasing sales targets anymore, managing a sprawling team, dealing with fake news and rumors, village stuff. I had time to think, and more importantly, time to build something new. Even while running the brewery, the forestry, and I was always drawn to the world of innovation. This started much earlier in my life. I had very broad interests as a child. Physics was my favorite subject in school, but I'm a generalist at heart. working with many different companies was what I enjoyed about my job in private equity. Everything I could find about the technologies, the companies, what they were using to build their business model, the finance behind it, everything. And founders kept finding their way to me throughout the years. Old classmates, friends of friends, even people who watched this very channel. I started investing in a few deals. First informally, then more hands-on. One in sensor technology, one in climate tech, both very promising. But that's when I realized I don't just enjoy doing this, I need to do this. Backing founders, thinking big, solving problems with capital. This is where I could bring real value. But I didn't want to be just a solo angel, spraying and praying and just doing a few deals here and there. That's no achievement. I wanted to build something repeatable, strategic, and long-term. This is not an industry where you can earn a quick buck. This is a real long-term project, and the real badge of honor comes with getting others to invest alongside you. So I launched an investment initiative. No flashy fund launch, nothing crazy, just doing smart deals with our own money, very small tickets. You don't need much at the level where we get in. And then what helps is that we're inviting a few select investors to join us deal by deal. Why deal by deal? Because that just gives us freedom. It keeps the costs low because the regulatory hurdles of a fund make that a very expensive undertaking. We don't take management fees in the classic sense in this setup. For investors, a fund can often feel like a black box, especially at this point that we don't have a huge track record yet. With this deal-by-deal strategy, our investors can choose to tag along or sit this one out, and they get to make this decision with every single deal. Obviously, also they like the fact that it's much lighter on fees. On top, it gives flexibility on the liquidity side because as an investor, there are no sudden capital calls that need to be anticipated. While it's very important to have some sector focus, the overarching theme of our investment thesis is that the deals are sourced in our network that is heavily influenced by family business connections. The most promising companies, we believe, are in the sectors of deep tech, medtech, and biotech. But we want to have a unique angle, be it early access or immediate value levers through our network. I'm talking new customers, follow-on rounds, following funding, etc. We're not here to spray and pray. We're here to build real conviction and get involved as much as we can. As I embark on this journey, I want to share what I learned so far. This transformation taught me 4 things essentially. First, legacy isn't a limitation. You can evolve without betraying your roots. Be proud and aware of the fact that you're standing on the shoulders of giants. Second, you don't have to rush. Some of the best decisions come when you finally have space to think and reflect. Third, people are everything. I couldn't do this if I did not have a strong team, both in the family business, taking responsibility off my back, and great partners who are embarking with me on this new adventure. And fourth, play the game that fits your style. We're not trying to be Sequoia. We're building something that works for us, for the founders that we back. On the same side, we're not doing things that we maybe shouldn't be doing. So yes, that's how this family became a VC or got into VC. The next chapter is still being written. And if you're a founder building something ambitious, let's talk. Sign up for my newsletter in the link below and you will get emails from my private email. One of the key elements of our strategy is finding and then backing the right kinds of companies. One more way how we do this is by looking at deals that go through VentureKick. This is a very impressive organization backing Swiss startups emerging from Swiss universities. Learn more about them by watching this video next.